What's up, guys? My name's William King Barnett, and we gather here today on YouTube to mourn the dear loss of our friend, companion, ally, and even business partner, Finale. Yes, my friends. It seems that Finale has reached its finale. At the ripe, not old age of 35, it was too young. If you are a Finale user, I hope you checked your email. Now, I'd like to say a few words on all of our behalf. Finale, you were there for us through some very hard times. At times when it seemed like music was all we had and all that kept us going. Now, it definitely wasn't perfect. 2014 for Mac was definitely you at your worst, but you kept trying, and through the years, with every upgrade, you got a little less glitchy. You had arguably the best MIDI playback samples of any notation software on the market, or at least better than another software that won't be named, but let's just say it is named after a famous composer. But yes, you had the best MIDI playback samples out there for a notation software, which is like saying In-N-Out has the best burger for fast food. And like a somewhat high-maintenance partner who we were still madly in love with, you will be missed. Okay, that is just mean. Come on, guys. Come on, bro. That is just mean. And as for you, that's just meme. Yeah, that's just in poor taste right there. Oh no, not you too. Memes. So now, all of us composers are asking, what now? What's next for us? Where do we go from here? And that's the topic of today's episode. Today, we will be diving into the best music notation softwares as alternates to Finale. So let's dive in, shall we? Starting with Dorico. Like I said, if you are a Finale user, you got this email about Dorico. Dorico is offering a pretty hefty discount to former Finale users on their website for $150. The going market price is currently $579. It is actually quite good. If you are a Finale user, you should be able to pick it up pretty quickly. And it's definitely a great alternative to Finale. So with the discount now, I would highly recommend. Next up, Sibelius. Sibelius is the other industry standard aside from Finale. It's used by composers all over the board. If you are a Finale user, you might have a hard time picking it up if this is what you go with. Like, I'm still struggling a bit, having both. One upside of Sibelius is that it is definitely less glitchy than Finale. For us Mac users, you know that Finale 2014.5 and onward had a few glitches they didn't exactly work out. So that is a major upside of Sibelius. The major downside, in my opinion, is their MIDI playback samples are god-awful. Like, if you wear earrings, you want to replace them with knives. However, another plus of Sibelius is it's great for formatting, especially when exporting individual parts. It does a lot of the work for you, in contrast to Finale, where you had to spend a lot of time manually cleaning up parts before exporting them. The downside of this, however, is that you have less freedom and less liberties into how Sibelius formats your parts. But in spite of all this, Sibelius is a great alternative to Finale and is the industry standard. Up next, Magic Score. I don't entirely know a lot about Magic Score, but it looks pretty straightforward and pretty easy to use, and they have pretty decent discounts on their website if you go to it. Like I said, it's pretty easy to use, or at least that's how they advertise it. So for any beginner composers or composer wannabes who are looking for their first notation software, this might be a good one to start out with. There's also MuseScore. A few good things to know about MuseScore is that it has the best MIDI playback of any notation software out there, way better than Finale. Probably the best thing about it is it's free, but even that, for it being a free software, the quality that it has and what you get out of it is so superb that it's honestly better than any paid notation software you could possibly get. It is also the online standard for sheet music for popular and contemporary music. Whenever you go to search for sheet music, they'll have versions that are for beginners, for intermediate players, and advanced players. A lot of these scores do cost money, but the notation software itself is free. These scores include arrangements for different instruments and different instrumentations. They have completely eclipsed all other PDF providers, and they've become such a juggernaut that they've made other places like sheetmusic.com rethink their entire strategy. So with all that said, MuseScore is probably my best recommendation on this episode. Another option we'll talk about before moving forward is if you're a Logic Pro user like I am. Logic allows you to actually export XML files, aka scores, from projects that you create with it. The downside of this is you may have to reformat it in a score notation software, so this is actually not recommended. If you do this, note everything has to be quantized. Quantizing, for those who don't know, is a setting within the piano roll that sets everything right on the beat. But more on quantizing and the features of the piano roll in another episode. Moving on, another option is Anthem Score. Going off of what we talked about with Logic, with this software you can import music and it will automatically transcribe it for you. They have a free trial version available, so let's give it a try. For our test, I'm using the background music you heard during my funeral. Let's see what the AI does with it. Still needs a little bit of work, but that's better than I expected. So off-topic tangent, this is just a little sample taste of what AI can do in music now. But more on AI in music on another episode. Our next candidate for those who use iPads is StaffPad. StaffPad is for iPad only. What's cool about StaffPad is using your iPad pen, you write the notes, quote, by hand in the software, and then it automatically turns it into electronic notation. So it'll look professional and like a computer. Some people say that writing music by hand, or writing anything by hand, from a therapeutic standpoint is actually recommended. So this gives you the illusion of writing by hand, while also cutting out the middleman of having to later transcribe it on a computer, if you like that. However, the one major downside of StaffPad is that it does not allow you to put dynamics above the staff, which is the norm for instrumental music. But if you're writing vocal music, where dynamics are supposed to be above the staff, it won't let you do it. And that's a major flaw in StaffPad if you're trying to do vocal music. So, StaffPad is great for instrumental music if you have an iPad, but not as much for vocal music. You will have to export your scores as XML files into another notation software and move around all the dynamics, which is, of course, a definite hassle and inconvenience. That being said, StaffPad for you iPad users is a great option. Up next is the software Flat. Flat is an online software. You definitely need to be connected to the internet for it. The cool thing about Flat is it allows for collaboration. Like if you're working with someone else or if you want feedback on your work, other people, friends, collaborators, partners can look over your work and even leave comments and add their own edits, which is a unique feature that, to my knowledge, no other notation software has. If I'm wrong on that, please correct me. From what I hear, Flat is kind of limited and very basic in what it can do, but from what I hear, also, it's pretty good. So, another good recommendation. Now, those are all the recommendations I have, but one last thing I want to touch on is if you're looking to move on from Finale and get a new software, but you want to continue on with your old scores, you will have to transfer them from Finale to your new software, whichever one you choose. And the way you do that is File, Export, XML file. The major downside of this is when you open it in your new notation software, you will likely have to reformat everything. If you're using Sibelius, you will definitely have to reformat everything, which will be timely and a big pain. But unfortunately, it is what we have to do. In the words of Bill Maher,
things change.
In the words of me, sometimes we have to change with it. So yes, my friends, times have changed. Finale has reached its not-so-grand finale. This is the sunset on an era, but there is a dawn in the distance. And with these new notation softwares, I assure you, you will forget all about that who will not be named. It's the perfect rebound from Finale. Oh wait, I just said the name. And you will realize that you never needed Finale to be a good composer. Because like a semi-dysfunctional partner who we all still loved madly anyway, I think we can all do a little better. And you can do better too. Thanks for watching. If you liked this video, please like and subscribe to my channel for more tips and insights into the vast, complex world of music production, which is evolving every day. Like a musical instrument, stay tuned. Lots of love, y'all. Stay strong, and have fun with those XML files.